What is up, my travel people, man? How y'all doing today? How y'all doing today, man? Let's get right into it, man. We got 5 reasons black men should travel to Canada, man. 5 reasons black men should travel to Canada. And this is based off my experience. My experience, mind you, I only been to Montreal, but I have talked to a lot of Canadians, talked to black Canadians, white Canadians, Indian Canadians, people from Vancouver, people from Ontario, people from Quebec. So I got a little bit of knowledge. But let's get into it. So number one, the first reason why black men should travel to Canada, man, it's gonna be the women. It's gonna be the women. And because Canada has a lot of variety of women when it comes to race, when it comes to ethnicity, when it comes to different attitudes, and as far as like just people with different ways. It's a very international place. So you'll have your Asian woman, you'll have your Latino woman, you'll have plenty of women from the Caribbean, plenty of African women from the Ivory Coast, women from Europe, of course. Depending on where you go. In Montreal, there was a lot of French women. Um, I hear and I've seen and I've met a lot of men and women that lived in Toronto or lived in other parts of Canada, and they kind of say the same thing. Is very, very diverse. You and people, from what it seems like, most of the people that I've met, very polite, very nice. I will say it seems like they kind of stick to themselves though when it comes to like their social groups. So that is one thing, like, you will have to, if you're talking to someone like me, when I was there, I was using a lot of the public transportation and taking Uber. So I was just meeting people and I was outside a lot and just kind of like talking to random people. And for the most part, everybody seems very approachable, even if it's like a girl you're trying to talk to. It's not hard to just talk to her, see if she's single interested, and you take it from there, whether y'all go on a date or do whatever y'all do. It's not hard to get women in Canada, so that's always a plus anywhere you go. And they have a lot of variety, they got options, they got conservative, and they got more like liberal girls, like a good mixture. That's always going to be a good thing because that means it's something for everybody. So the woman is definitely a great reason to check out Canada. Number 2 is gonna be the food, man. The food was great. Canada had definitely some of the best food I've ate, and I think it was because it's so much of like an international hub. You got people from India, you got Asian spots, Korean barbecue spots, you got Caribbean food spots, you got Latin food spots, American food spots. It got something for everybody, and it's always a personal touch. Like, you go to a restaurant and you try a certain dish, it might not be the same as you had it at another restaurant, because everybody's like, the chefs, you can tell they take pride in their work. From the street food to festival vendors to the restaurants, you can tell that the people there, they take pride in their food. They cook it with love. And if you're a foodie, you're someone that loves to go places just to like try food and stuff, it's a great place. If you go to Montreal to try food, you're gonna to get the full experience, you're probably gonna have to stay there like a week or two, to be honest. I was because you can only eat so much in a day, So me, I'm going to like 2 restaurants a day, maybe, if that. So it's like I only got really a small sample of what I can tell. It's like a big a big feast of what they have to offer. Number 3, why black men should travel to Canada is safety, man. The safety in Canada is definitely, I feel like anytime you leave your whole hometown, especially if you come from a city in America, you're gonna feel safer in general. But just like I said, the politeness of the people, the people like staying to themselves. You can tell people aren't really like worried about danger. Like, yeah, you got your crackheads like everywhere. Of course, you got gang members and people doing illegal stuff, but it just seems like a very, very safe place. Like, anytime I had a conversation about like guns with people that were in Canada, it just seemed like Like, cause in America, we really feel like, we need it. In some places in America, you definitely do. Like, it's not smart to be a man without a gun in certain places in America, but up there, that's like a foreign concept to them. It's like they aren't worried about someone breaking into their house because it's just such a slim chance of it actually even happening. And they're more of the mindset that they'll just call the police and they'll be okay. Now, I did hear that the mob is going like they running stuff in Montreal. I can't speak for like the other parts of Canada as far as like the safety and stuff like that, but in general, it does just seem like a very like safe country. They're strict on gun control, and it's not some place where I'm saying like you need to go there and live because a lot of us, we Americans, we love our Second Amendment right. We love that shit. So I'm not saying boom, you need to go there, but I mean you need to live there, but definitely just getting out of this American stuff, this clown show that we got going on right now in America, just getting out of it and going someplace where, you might not agree with everything that's going on there, but at least everybody for the most part is kind of like minding their own business. Number four, man. Number four is gonna be the experience, man. Because growing up, I mean, some of you guys might feel the same way. Like I didn't know much about Canada. The only thing I knew is stuff I seen from TV shows like South Park and how they kind of like clown Canadians and stuff like that. But they're not too much different from us. And going up there, you'll get a great experience just as far as meeting people, seeing new things, experiencing things, seeing stuff from different perspectives. Like that's always good to go somewhere and just get a new experience, find out some stuff you didn't know, see some things to open your mind up, and maybe see some things that confirm some ideas that you already have. So experience is great anywhere. You could go to the next nearest city from you and have a good experience. So going to a place where like Canada where most Americans do have preconceived notions about how it is and seeing like, oh, this is better than what's portrayed. And like I said, I learned from TV shows, but then um I learned from TV shows, but then when I was down in Jamaica, that was the first time I really like met Canadians because there were a lot on the resort that I was at, and we chopping it up. I'm learning things about them. They were very interested in where I was from, Virginia, I guess, because it's like one of like the capitals of like slavery and stuff like that. But yeah, so they kind of opened my eyes up. Then I was in Colombia and I met some Canadians from Montreal and they told me I should check it out. And boom, I went and checked it out and I had a great time. Boom. And reason number five is because it's a very big country. And just like in America, you can go to Florida, you can go to Miami, you can go to New York, you can go to Baltimore, you can go to LA, and it's going to be a different culture, different way of life in each place. It's the same way in Canada. It's the same way in Canada. Having only been to one city, I feel like I got to go to British Columbia. I feel like I got to go visit Toronto. And I feel like I got to learn about the other cities that's out there besides those three because that's all I really know. And eventually over time, like yeah, I'll travel back to Canada. I had a great time up there. I met like I said, I met some people from Cameroon. I met some guys from the Ivory Coast. They told me they been up to Montreal like 10 times and they've been other places in the world as well. And they just said they like it there. Person I met from Cameroon, he lived in Cameroon for well, he's born in Cameroon. Then he lived in Ukraine um for like 10 years and then he moved to Montreal and he knows French, he knows English, he knows Russian. So he's very well cultured and that's what you'll find up there too. A lot of well cultured people, a lot of people who have a lot of intelligent people. It is a little bit crazy up there, but we focusing on why y'all should go. Cause I ain't gonna lie, if you watch my vlog, you probably seen some crazy stuff like a bunch of um old Caucasian guys riding down the street butt naked and things like that. But that it's gonna be a little bit of both everywhere. So definitely check out Canada if you're a black guy, you haven't been thinking about it, or if you have, I hope this video kind of like pushing you a little bit more in that direction. That's all I got for y'all, man. As always, I love y'all. I'm out.